Carl here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. Bloody Obituary, the legendary death metal band, are back, starting off 2023 with a bloody big bang, unleashing Dying of Everything, their brand new album, January 13th via Relapse Records, so not too long to wait for this one. Now, it is very hard, of course, to say in the first few weeks of the year if an album is going to still be talked about 11 months later when it comes time for your end of year, best of year list. How we've just finished up ours for 2022 and we're already talking about next year's. With so many releases along the way every single week, relevancy is just as important as quality. It takes something special to have any reviewer confidently stating that any album released in January is one of the best of the year already. It's going to be a long year of music reviews. It's easy to say it now, but will it stick? You've got to be special for it to stick. And I think this will stick because Obituary are a very special band. But of course, you don't need me to tell you that. You already know it. They're a legendary death metal band. So much so, right, that even if you're not a fan of their style of music, if you're watching this cursory click and you don't really know or have ever really listened to Obituary, chances are you are familiar with the style of music they do. And they've been on a strong run in recent times, proving that their iconic status is more than deserved. You know, a lot of heyday bands just living on their past glories. Obituary aren't doing that. They could have easily phoned us in. They haven't. We've got a banger here. Inspired by worldwide events of the past few years. Unsurprisingly, this is Obituary back with a blistering showcase of death, thrash and speed metal. Dying of Everything showcases a band at their very best and simply doesn't put a foot wrong from the moment Barely Alive explodes with thrashy intent to the moment Be Warned ends the album in garishly grim fashion. Along the way though, because that's the beginning and the end, along the way, what a bloody great journey this is. From the guttural growls and meaty roars that emanate from within John Tardy, to the riffing and soloing from Ken Andrews and Trevor Perez, to the thick grooves and hooks that Terry Butler delivers on bass, and the bone-crunching style of Donald Tardy's drumming. All 5 members of Obituary are on exceptional form here, resulting in such absolute headbangers such as The Wrong Time, War, the title track, Evil one, that one, and Weaponize the Hate. Not only that, it's also an album of variety, differing tempos, different levels of intensity. Sometimes there's a bit more groove, sometimes it's as wild as a starving beast that has spied your fleshy leg. Sometimes it's all of that combined, and then some more. The tone of this album as well just fits Obituary perfectly too. The last few years have been particularly hellacious for the world. I don't think anyone's going to deny that. And the death metalers reflect that in their, well, let's be honest, beloved, aggressively taught and egregiously methodical way. But not so much that it's a distraction from what Obituary do best. It's just something that gives the album an overall darker theme. But hey, if you don't want to think about that too much, just enjoy the crunchy ass thrash death and speed metal. The year, it's barely even begun, and here we go. Obituary have set the bar high already here. Not just in the world of death metal though, but in metal overall. You know, you want to categorize this and segment it off. Man, this belongs in metal. We all need to hear it. Put it simply, long may this band bloody reign when they continue to put out quality releases like this. I'm a huge fan of this album. I didn't necessarily go in thinking I'd love it. I like Obituary, but I didn't grow up listening to them. Death metal wasn't really my jam when I was younger. It's something I got into in the last decade, maybe a bit later than that. And I certainly don't know the band well enough to start naming like songs off the back catalogue and, what's your favourite 10 Obituary tracks? Shit, I don't can have that. I don't know if I could name 10 off the top of my head, but they are a band I recognise and they are musically something I understand, and I have enjoyed the output of the last few releases quite a bit, so to come to this one and just be like, yeah, this is a banger. Really, and then like constantly, and I'm kind of expecting at times while listening to them going, well, there's going to be a track or two where I'm just like ho hum, that was a alright death metal song. It didn't work like that. Each one was like, oh shit, this is great. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is great. Oh, that's great. Oh, it's over. Oh, that was great. You know, it's amazing when it works out like that. But chances are you already know that. Not because you've listened to it, because, you know, it's not out yet, and you're not one of those people, but you know it because you love Obituary. And you're expecting this to be simply fantastic. Maybe you heard the singles. You haven't got too long to wait. Dying of Everything. It is January 13th, released via Relapse Records. It's my recommendation you check it out, but you don't need me to tell you that. Check it out, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?